So here today we got the drag loaded on my pallet fork, and I've got a pond we just had put into the farm here down in our meadow, and I got to seed that down today. So I'm going to go up there with this drag, and then I'm going to come down there with the tractor and no-till drill, and then unhook the drill and then drag it, because it's still a little lumpy from the cat being done there. But I think it'd be better anyway, as far as getting a good catch. And then we're going to seed it, and then we drag it again, and then I got another spot where we did some grubbing, where we removed some trees, and looks great. And the key is to get it seeded down as soon as possible, so we can get some growth growing there, so we don't have any type of erosion or some small ditches started or something. We're early July, so we got plenty of time to get this very well established before winter sets in. So we'll tune back in with you guys when we get things happening. Okay, we got our drill out, and we're just gonna check our seed business here. I'm thinking we're good, and then we're gonna make our adjustments when we get up there. Alfalfa we might stick in just a little bit, and then there's more than enough in there. Probably don't need to put too much of that in. Grasses, yeah, that looks like it's gonna get done what we need to get done. Oats is almost full. So, got that looked over. And what my plan is to go up with the 74, unhook the drill when I get there, hook onto the drag, because I just got back from bringing the drag up there with the pallet fork. I got that all put together. And then drag it with this tractor, then hook back onto the drill and seed it. So we'll show you guys what we got going when we get there. Gotta shut the gate, because even if we're not going to be there very long, that herd of cows under the shade over there will be out down here just like that. Okay, we got on top of the hill. We're going to take a quick look at this hay, what it's doing here. Second crop hay. It's like early July. It's up to my knees. This is new seeding from last year. Looks really good. Looks really good. Might be another week or so before we cut, because we're gonna bale this. We're gonna need to mature a little bit more. And then I wanted to show you guys this oats. Now we have a video of this oats when we planted it, and how this, and kind of the details of what we were doing when we planted. But I'm just gonna kind of carefully walk in here so I don't have to knock any down, but it's literally to my belt. And I see we got a lot of grass coming. We planted some grass, but I'm guessing some of that's just some volunteer stuff, which is kind of okay. This is one of them fields where we're probably gonna make some hay off of this field the first couple years after we get this oats off, but then it'll be grazed because it's close to all our pasture, which that's our heifer pasture, and then we got our milking cow pasture kind of just on that side. So I thought of this, it didn't look like it was going to turn out that good at first, but it's been cooler, a lot of cool mornings, even though we had hot days and we had timely rains. My goodness, some of this stuff's even past my waist here. But yeah, this is about as good as I get as far as oats. And then the new seeding, well, I don't know, there's some grasses in there might compete a lot with it, but once we start grazing this, alfalfa doesn't usually hold up as good when it comes to grazing consistently, but can't complain. Okay, so before we go down there, we're gonna get this thing ready. So this here's one of our ponds we had put in a couple years ago. Got a little riprap there to keep our erosion in control. But I kind of like these type of ponds where they'll fill up with the spring thaw or one heavy rain, and then they kind of go down by themselves. So they're ready for another big rain if you'd get one. I don't want to see them going over, but there's always enough water in there for the wildlife and that. And I think those apple trees, that's going to be like candy for the deer. They'll take that any day over a cob of corn. So we got 5 trees here, and then we got another pond just up ahead here. So this whole area down here we call the meadow, and it's, I guess you could say it's one of my wife's favorite spots on this farm. Used to be all just brush, box elder. Some ditches got started because there's so much shade down in this valley. There used to be like a 2-acre field down here way back in the 60s, and that all just overgrown. I think the road getting down here wasn't good, so we've been doing some fixing. Here we got 2 more apple trees, a different kind. Planted my mom's memory, so it's kind of nice. So be something to look forward to. These things, my wife even put some flowers under them. And this is kind of a little smaller pond. There's not much of a valley back in here, but anyway, lots of deer tracks around that thing, so the deer don't have to go further for water. Then we even made hay down here. We mowed this and chopped it out of here. Got 2 small loads of forage. And the plan in the future is to probably be grazing it. Haven't quite figured out how we're gonna finagle some electric, but we're still kind of removing some of the brush yet, and some of the trees that aren't so good, and pruning up the good ones, and making things nicer, more productive. So anyway, we got a drag right there, and we're gonna get this machine unhooked and get that drag, because that's our 3rd pond that's down here. This is our 3rd pond down here in the meadow. This one we just had put in, and some of the elm and some of these down trees we collected out of this little valley here, and we left a few of the ones that I felt could make something someday. A lot of hickory, and they can be kind of a different tree. Those where you got a lot of crotches in them, they end up breaking open. They don't seem to and break off at the top. They'll never uproot. They got a heck of a root system, but there's some value in hickory. Elm, not so much. But anyhow, so kind of get the picture here. Not the biggest pond, but enough. And probably going to end up putting some breaker rock up in that valley. He's got a little bitty berm there started. I might put a couple bucket loads of something there just to keep it from starting to wash. If you do it right away, you get nice results. We don't have an overflow, but he's got it pretty level, and I don't believe this is going to overflow. If it does, it's going to be very minor, or only a one-time thing. Hopefully everything grows in really good first. That's really the key, to get the sod in, get everything growing in really good. So that's why we want to get at it right away. A couple days ago he finished this. It was still a little sticky up here anyway. I thought we'd give it some time to dry off, get better results when it comes to the seeding. But I always like to drag it. It just breaks up a lot of those clumps a little more and grooms it up better. And once we seed it, we're going to go over it again, so all the lines are kind of all the tracks and everything so the water doesn't start following that stuff in case we'd get a big rain. Yep, so we're gonna keep going. We'll let you guys watch us handle that. So here's another area where we grubbed out, and there was several really large stumps that I thought I might end up ruining things trying to mow this. So since the cat was here and the excavator anyway, and he kind of diverted some of the water, so instead of going right down into the ravine, it kind of goes this way, maybe kind of between some of the trees there, so it slows things down that way a little bit. But really did a nice neat job here. So we're gonna get this groomed up same way we did up there, seed it, and then right down in there, if you can't tell, I got some riprap going down there to kind of hold that. See, went in kind of behind there, but I think it's gonna be all right. But another maybe half acre of pasture here, and then our wood pile from everything that we kind of took out of here. And we got a few saw logs out of here that we're gonna use in the barn as far as repairing that. Here I picked up a few pieces that are laying here. I drive by the woods, I'll throw them in. So then the plan is, after this is seeded, some of our summer gutter manure we might spread on this. And it works pretty good because my heifers and dry cows are here grazing, so whatever comes up where there's manure like that, they have a tendency to not eat it, or they don't trim it down. They'll kind of stick their nose up at something like that. So I think it's a good thing, and it's going to need a little more than what's already here to get things started. Maybe a little straw with it so it acts as mulch a little bit. And then by next summer, of course, that manure will be rotted down and it won't matter anymore. But I usually like to do that. We've done some other stuff here in the past where I've done that, and it helps get it established before the cattle get the best of it.